Good morning, everyone. I'm in the middle of nowhere in the California desert in southeastern California, not too far from the Arizona border. I'm in a little pinprick little speck of a town called Vidal, and I'm at an interesting little historic site. This little cottage used to be owned by Wyatt Earp, the famous Old West gunfighter and lawman and prospector and all-around interesting character. He and his wife Josephine were here from 1925 to 1928, and they were out here to work the Happy Days mine that was nearby. It's just off of this lonely little gravel road in this lonely little town. And this is the rest of the country. And so that sign mentioned the Happy Days mine, the mine that the two of them worked, Wyatt and Josephine. And that is over here somewhere, and that's actually where we're going next. So apparently Wyatt Earp came here in 1906 to the Vidal area and found a bunch of deposits of gold and copper, and he filed over 100 mining claims, and this claim, this mine, the Happy Days mine, is one of those. This is the one that they eventually actively worked on. And you know, this is farther from Vidal, from their little cottage, than I thought it would be. I mean, it took half an hour to drive here, maybe. And so as I understand it, they would have had a little camp here of some sort. I don't know if it was like a little lean-to shack sort of thing or a canvas tent or whatever, but they would have had a camp here. And also they worked this area, they lived in this area for 3 seasons, in the fall, winter, and spring. And summer is just too hot to be out here, so they would go back to Los Angeles during the summer. And kind of amazingly, the shaft is still here, still open. You can basically drive right to it. I'm not going to explore too far into the mine. I think that mine exploration is something that you really want to have a buddy or a partner to do. But I'll go in a little ways and we'll explore a little bit, and then we'll get out of here. So what do we have here? We have, looks like a shaft going down that way, and then one going off to the left. And there's a little ray of light, I think, coming in. And the footsteps of Wyatt Earp. Isn't that something? What a tough way to make a living. I see an old barrel down here. You guys see that? I'm guessing that was just rolled in more recent times. And the bottom of the mine kind of slopes down steeply, and then I don't know if this is a drop off right here, like a sudden drop off, or if that's just a steep stair. But either way, we will not be exploring down there. I do see some green in the walls, marking some copper. I know some people love to do this for a living, but man, this is not for me. As soon as you climb down into this thing, into the hole, into the tunnel, the air just turns kind of nasty. It's very kind of acrid smelling. I know that a lot of times that is one of the reasons that mines are unsafe, because there are like poisonous gases that build up in the mine. I don't know if it's that, I doubt it's that, but it could be just you know, some sort of dead animal down there or something else off-gassing that shouldn't be down there. I don't know, but does not smell great. And back top side here, there is a little shaft coming up to the surface, a little air vent, I'm guessing. And I think this is This is what gave a little bit of light to that left passage down in there. Still a wild and very desolate place. There are some people camped around here. I did pass a couple of people boondocking. There's a box truck and a Sprinter van that I saw closer to the highway over here. And this is a pretty good area for that sort of thing because amenities aren't too far away. Over here, in fact, I think I can show you. You can just make out a town in the distance over this way. And I think this is Parker, Arizona. And I say that this is a good area to camp or to be based out of if you're boondocking, because Parker has basically all the amenities you need. I've been there probably dozens of times over the years, and I was actually just there this morning. I stopped there to get gas. And the interesting thing about Parker is that it is kind of the biggest little piece of civilization in this area, and it does have things like a Walmart and grocery stores. Like there's a Safeway over there also, and gas and that sort of thing. And while I was in there this morning, and I was just thinking back to the restaurants that I know are there. And I know that there's an Indian restaurant there. I think I ate there last year. And there are a couple of pizza places. If you guys have watched this channel for any amount of time, you know that I love pizza. And you also might know that Indian food is my favorite type of food, my favorite cuisine. And so I want to go have lunch or dinner there today, but I think I need to earn it. And so what I'm gonna do now is head back over this way. And there's a hike that I wanna do. There's a pretty cool looking mountain that I passed by that I wanna check out. This is an awesome area. So I hadn't planned on coming here. I just learned about this area, this mountain, last night actually. Before I come on these trips, which last between 1 and 3 weeks usually, that's usually how long I'm out for, I have an itinerary of what I want to see and do each day and what videos I want to make, what I'm going to do each day. But I was looking at that itinerary last night. I just wasn't excited about it. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't think it would be fun for me to do, and if it's not fun for me to do, it's not going to be fun for you guys to watch. And so I was just looking around on Google Maps and on the Gaia app on my phone, looking at the map, looking for a mountain that looked interesting, and I saw this one that was kind of all by itself, and it looked craggy and interesting. And so I looked it up, I looked at some pictures of it, and yeah, that turns out to be the case. This is called a name that I do not remember. Savahia Peak, or Savahia Peak. The top there is about 1,100 feet above my head at the moment. And my plan is to go hike up that gully that is to the right of the highest point. So I'm gonna hike up that and then turn left once I get to that top summit ridge and hike up there. So let me get the gear ready. We'll get to hiking. Well, if this summit register on top of this thing is to be believed, no one has climbed this mountain in the last 2 years. More than 2 years. It's been like 2 days or 2 years and about a week since someone climbed this. That's crazy. And this little notebook that is the summit register goes back to 1993, and it's like 4 pages long. You know, 30 plus years of ascents in just a few pages. This thing does not get climbed very much, which I find kind of hard. Well, I find that both hard to believe and very easy to believe. Hard to believe because that was so much fun. What a cool little adventure. And it's not that difficult. It took an hour and 15 minutes to get up here, and probably a good 20 or 30 minutes of that was messing around with the drone. So not that difficult. And the climbing was never too scary or dangerous. You know, it's some like mild scrambling up rocks and boulders, but you know, not bad. I'm just surrounded by mountains just like this, and you know, there's not really any particular reason someone would choose to climb this one rather than that one, or that one, or that one, or that one, or that one, you know? This is my kind of place though. Like this, to me, this is a playground. Just public land as far as the eye can see, obscure mountains and mountain ranges as far as the eye can see, interesting peaks as far as the eye can see, and no people as far as the eye can see. On the summit here, there's this piece of wood, and while I was researching this peak, I saw a couple pictures of this standing upright with some of these metal wires kind of as guy lines, as guy wires to hold it in place. And I believe this was used as a triangulation post. And so there's also a benchmark right here. Let's go take a closer look at that. U.S. Coast and Geologic Survey, 1950. It says Peanuts #2. So this is called the Peanuts benchmark. Not sure why. So basically, as I understand it, the U.S. government surveys these peaks and puts those little plaques up here once they, you know, ascertain the elevation of the mountain, and then they use that to triangulate the height of other mountains in the area. I think that's what that piece of wood would have been for, to kind of make the high point of the mountain here stand out, so that they could, you know, sight it up and line it up and use that to make their other calculations for the surrounding mountains. And so almost all of this, almost everything in my field of view is California. We can zoom in on some of those other jagged, craggy peaks that I was referring to. This is all the California desert. What a diverse state, from the desert like this, to the Pacific coast, to the High Sierra, to the Cascades, and the Redwoods. Just amazing. I believe on the horizon here we do have some Arizona. This big mountain here is in Arizona, or I mean is in California, but this over here is in Arizona, and you can see a little sliver of water right there in the middle. That's Lake Havasu, and so Lake Havasu City, which is the town that's over there, is in Arizona. And there's my car way down there, over 1,000 feet below us, right there in the middle. And I can see most of the route. So I went from there up this cleft, up this gully, to the ridge top, which is over here. Then I followed that ridge kind of along this way to the top. And you might remember that I told myself earlier in the day, I made a promise that if I climbed a mountain, I could go get a pizza or Indian food. And I think I'm leaning toward a pizza. So let me get all my gear together here. Let me pack up, including the drone. And again, this is the DJI Mini 4 Pro, I think it's called. I've had it for a few months now. One of my favorite things I've added to it is this little cover. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. This cover flips up like so. And so it protects it when it's in my backpack. I just stick this thing in the backpack the way it is, and not in a bag, a protective case or anything. So I really like that. And overall, yeah, this drone it just makes life so much easier. It's so much better and easier to use than my last one, and definitely a good purchase. All right, let's go collect on that pizza prize. Man, I am just living the dream here right now. I've got waterfront views, beautiful palm trees. This is the Colorado River, and a pizza. My go-to is pepperoni, olives, and jalapenos. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna enjoy that as I enjoy the view. I mean, just look at this. That's so pretty. This is some sort of kind of a park, I guess. Like, there's just one other car here and there at the little dog park right there. This is just a little parking area in front of the river in Parker. I'm in Arizona here. This is California over here. And once I finish this up, I'm gonna head north. I want to be a couple hours north of here for the next couple of videos that I'm going to be filming, and so I'd like to get as much of that drive done tonight as I can. I'm not going to make it all the way there, but I'll get closer. I'll take out a big chunk of that drive this afternoon, hopefully. Got a couple hours of daylight left, so I'm going to eat a couple more slices of the pizza here, and then drive along the Colorado River, I think on the California side, to a spot that's about 15 or 20 minutes away that I want to just stop briefly to check out, en route to more driving to the north and en route to the campsite for tonight. So let's do that. Okay guys, I've parked here. There's sort of a dead end where this road that I've been following hits a very narrow canyon that I can't drive up. But I want to be on top of this little hill and I'm not entirely sure how to get there. So I'm just gonna park here and walk to the top. This place is just marked on Google Maps as Desert Art. That's how I found it. I was just browsing Google Maps and I saw Desert Art and I saw a couple of pictures that were attached to the location there on Google Maps, and again, it looked cool. And I'm excited to check it out, assuming I can get up there without falling back down this steep slope. Okay, yeah, this is the parking area I should have parked at, but we have some art on this little hill to start off with. This is kind of neat. But I think there's a walking path of some sort that'll take us around to some more pieces of art. This says, "Love is patient, love is kind." Very nice. This area is either part of or adjacent to an OHV area. I had to drive through some of that to get to here. And so there are some side-by-sides racing around in the background. If you hear some motor noise, some engine noise, that's what that is. But there is a little trail that leads around this area. I don't know how far it goes or where it's taking me, but I'm following. Okay, looks like here's where things get pretty interesting. I don't know, again, I don't know what this is. You can see some people out there for scale. Looks like some art or a labyrinth over there or something. And again, look at these mountains. See what I mean about there being so many of these just pointy, aggressively pointy peaks out here? They're everywhere. This place is great, and it's larger, it's more extensive than I thought it would be. Some of the images are very easy to identify, like that is a butterfly. Others I'm having a little bit more trouble with. Most of them are pretty obvious, but some like this, I don't know what that is. Jupiter? I don't know what that is. Same thing with this, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Is that a scorpion, maybe? Ah, I was looking at that from the wrong angle. Definitely not a scorpion, that is a deer, or a reindeer. I like how these aren't really painted, like the colors that you see are just the natural colors of rocks for the most part. That is so cool. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Again, I'm gonna try to drive as far as I can while I still have daylight, and then I'll pull over once it starts getting dark. So I'll see you guys at camp. Welcome to camp, everyone. I'm pretty close to a main highway. You can probably see some cars over there, and I can definitely hear them too, but this is a good enough place for the night. Beautiful sunset. Look at these colors. And look at these craggy mountains. That's kind of the theme for out here. Craggy mountains and open spaces. If you're familiar with this area, I am just north of Lake Havasu City. Not in the super popular boondocking spots. There are a couple of spots around Lake Havasu that are that have like hundreds of RVs and campers at them. This place is pretty far out there. I had to drive in a big loop almost to get here because even though I am close to the highway out there, and that is the main highway that goes through Lake Havasu, you can't get to that highway very easily from here. There's a fence. The old road that used to connect this spot to the highway has been fenced off. So yeah, anyway, I was thinking, you know, I could keep driving into the night for another hour or so to get me closer to where I want to be tomorrow. But I like stopping when it gets dark. I like just the natural stopping point. It's just you know, it's Mother Nature saying and encouraging me to stop and relax, put my feet up, take a breath, and just relax. And I need that sometimes on my trips. I get so excited about seeing and doing things that you know, it's nice to have some forced downtime, some forced quiet time, and that's what I'm going to enjoy here tonight. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.